Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. All right, we're going to do a look at the rookie quarterbacks. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to use the FANPRO. Hi everybody, I'm back here. We're just going to look at all of the quarterbacks who could possibly get drafted. There's not many who really have any possibilities of being real good quarterbacks. So guys who could last on some rosters, but we're talking about fantasy. Guys who may make the grade, who you might want to watch for and grab. I haven't done a lot of detail on the quarterbacks, but this is based off of what I've heard. So let's get into it. All right, so again, I'm using Fantasy Pros Rookie Mock Draft. All right, and here are the numbers. This is the ECR from them, Expert Consensus Rankings. You can see them all. I like looking at the best and the worst there and the average, all right? So they only gave up top 12. I think really only 5 or 6 guys are ever going to be anything, even possibly worth anything in fantasy, all right? And so let's break it down here real quick. Obviously, you got the top 4 guys, you know, they might be going in the first round here in a week or so in the NFL draft. So this, again, is pre-NFL draft of 2023, no landing spots, just on how they rate. I wanted to make these videos so that way you could go back and look and see how they were rated prior to the landing spots, right? That way you have an idea of, if I'm going to take a long shot and stab at a guy, that's who I want to grab, right? Based on what people thought prior to the landing spot. All right? So Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson, a lot of people think them and Will Levis, probably 1, 2, 3, 4 in the NFL draft. However it goes, well, we don't really care. We know all about those guys, right? I personally think that short-term Stroud and Bryce Young are the guys to look at, especially how they land. I mean, Stroud, I think, is probably going to be the long-term the best overall because he's going to be more steady the whole way through. Bryce Young's career, I think he might fly up, you know, peak, and then just start dropping down. Probably get beat up because of size and all that kind of stuff. It would be nice to see him have a nice long career, but you know, if after 5 years gets in a second contract, he might be a backup by then, a premier backup, but still a backup. Stroud, I could see being a guy, say like Kirk Cousins, David Carr, somewhere on that level where you can win with them, but you don't think you can win the big one with him. So Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, they've got all the athletic attributes. Levis is a little bit older. Richardson is much younger and much more raw. So, I mean, and Levis has quite a few warts on him. But, I mean, when you watch him, you can see a little bit of Josh Allen in that play, right? So, the next couple of guys, I mean, Hendon Hooker is ancient. I mean, I'm 50. He's almost as old as me. I think he was a freshman when I was in high school. So, we have that going on for us. And then Tanner McKee and Stetson Bennett, I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. I mean, maybe they land on somebody's roster, but we'll be seeing them in the USFL or the XFL or something like that for the next 5 years. They're just not NFL quarterbacks, and they're not good. So we'll go from there. I mean, I like Stetson the winner, but he still can't make the throws and the whole 9 yards. Jake Haener and DTR are the 2 guys that I really kind of like as a long shot dart throw. Maybe you don't draft him this year. Again, I said this in a couple other videos. Maybe you week 15, 16, pick him up because somebody went on the IR. You put him on your roster, and maybe they become a starter or have a shot at starting in year 2. Kind of like a Jordan Love situation where they sit behind somebody for a year, maybe 2, and then become the starter. So DTR's got all of the physical attributes to be the type of quarterback that NFL guys or GMs are looking for and coaches. Jake Haener, the Senior Bowl stuff, how he played, practiced, the juice on him from the Senior Bowl. Those guys are guys that I would be looking at. Max Duggan, you know, yeah. So what? Basically, anybody who has like a 6 or better on the first would be somebody to gravitate towards. You know, if a guy can't be thought of or drafted in an expert consensus ranking in the top 6 as far as a quarterback, Lord knows this isn't a deep draft. So if you can't make the top 6, as far as the best, somebody liking you that much, you probably are not going to make it, because it's just a numbers game, right? So the worst, you see guys sliding way down there, but the average and the standard deviation. So I just wanted to again bring this up and show everybody what it is. Just throw my 2 cents out there real quick. This is going to be a real short video, and then also, just with that being said, you can always pause. So you got the information there. I do like some of these guys. Now, my personal opinion on fantasy with the one quarterback, we're not talking about Superflex, right? Superflex, you'd be talking about these guys in the first round. Stroud, Bryce Young, maybe Richardson. In my personal drafts, the leagues that I need quarterbacks in, the leagues that I'm on the rebuild or the productive struggle, basically, those are the guys that I'm going to be grabbing around the turn. End of the first, early second, mid-second, right? Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. Those are guys that are going to give me points right now, or somebody who I can take and turn and trade for another quarterback because somebody's going to want one of the young quarterbacks. So with that being said, those are the guys that we want there. Same Hendon Hooker, Will Levis, those guys are going to probably be more late second, maybe early third. Now, Jake Haener and DTR, if I'm getting them in the 3rd or 4th round, like I said, I probably might not even be looking at drafting those guys. But depending on their situation, if they would have a possibility of making some hay in year 1, like let's say one of them gets drafted in Arizona, Murray has a little bit of a setback, so they give him a shot week 3 through 6 or 8 and gets a little playing time, maybe get some buzz, like Jordan Love. You never know what happens, so I mean, maybe you take a guy, one of those 2 guys, like in the end of the 4th or 5th or 6th round if you have those type of picks. But that's kind of how I look at it in the one quarterback leagues. As far as quarterbacks, it's not a very good look for the quarterbacks to be drafting, and we'll kind of go from there. So I think that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you for stopping by. Leave a comment below. If you can get a hold of me on there, I will talk to you if you have some questions. I mean, maybe brainstorm about a trade or something like that. I'm always down for that. Obviously, I'm doing this part-time and is having fun with it, but this is my little time capsule as far as what I'm thinking at a certain point. I'm glad to share it with everybody. Hopefully it helps somebody. If not, whatever, but like, comment, subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you later. Hopefully looking forward to seeing some live videos here shortly if I can get the software, if the sound is getting better. Get it locked and loaded. Until next time, take care.